Welcome to another episode of the Back Catalogue podcast. This is the podcast where we, and by we I mean me, Apple, and my co-host / co-founder Vincent, we dive into the streaming services and we tell you, the listener and the viewer, what is worth it and what is not. And Vincent, we're back.
We're back to cover Tom Holland's worst movie. Is that correct?
That's the tagline of this video. It's Tom Holland's worst movie. So today we are doing 2021's very own Chaos Walking. And what a year 2021 was, Vincent.
What a year. What a year.
Can I give you some facts on Chaos Walking before we get into it?
Yeah, and then I'll give you some facts on 2021.
Okay, awesome. Because I want to know all about 2021.
Yeah.
Because I lived it, but I didn't live your experience.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And I got some hard-hitting facts.
For real?
For real.
Wow. So this got the 5.8 out of 10 on the IMDb. It's got the 21% on the Rotten Tomatoes.
Sorry.
So it's a bit different.
Sorry. 21%.
That's 21% on the Rotten Tomatoes.
Heads didn't like this.
So it's a bit different between IMDb's and the Rotten
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
What was IMDb again?
5.8 out of 10.
Okay, so still not great.
It's not great, but it's like, back catalogue level. It's got the
Mediocre.
box office. It had a budget of $100 to $125 million. And it had a box office of $26.9 million. Now, Vincent, I have more facts. Because I don't know if you noticed, but Tom Holland's looking awfully young in this movie, right? Because this movie was announced in 2011. It started filming in 2017. And it was meant to release in 2019. But it came out in 2021. Because it was so poorly received by the people that watched it in 2019 that they were like, we need reshoots out the wazoo. And then, of course, COVID happened. So they were just like, let's just keep pushing this back. Let's just keep pushing this back. And they pushed it back until they just said, you know what, let's just drop it on Amazon.
Let's just drop it on Amazon.
Because some fools are going to watch it and do a podcast on it.
Yeah, I was looking through Amazon Prime Video, and there are a lot of movies and just a lot of content there.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. There's a lot of movies there with big name actors and actresses. But you don't hear about these movies. There was
and Chaos Walking is exactly that.
Well, that's right. We've got Viggo Mortensen. We've got Kevin Jonas.
He ain't in this movie. Dude.
No, what's the dude?
Neither of those people are in this movie. you got Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen, yeah.
And you got Nick Jonas.
Nick Jonas. Okay, well, I mean,
Did you say Kevin?
Yeah.
That's like the least popular Jonas brother.
Bro, I'm not up to date with my Jonas Brothers trivia.
You're not privy with the Jonas Brothers.
No, I'm not.
You didn't see their thing when they went into the White House with Joe Biden and they did the Bing Bong? They did the Side Talk NYC. You know Side Talk NYC? I sent you Spider Cuz.
Oh, that's... Yeah, okay.
Well, they did that within the White House. They didn't do the Spider Cuz bit, but they did the President Byron bit, which is quite popular amongst the memers of 2022, but mainly 2021.
All right. Sure. Anyway, who else they got? They got Daisy Ridley, Tom Holland, obviously.
They got David Oyelowo, who's the preacher.
David Oyelowo.
I think that's his name.
That's a wild name.
I hope I'm not mispronouncing it. But Vincent, should I give you, while I figure out if it's David Oyelowo, should I also give you the synopsis of this?
Give us the synopsis. If
I can find it. Yeah, no. So the reality is, it is David Oyelowo. I'm pretty sure. I want to also go through all the different actors. Yeah, so there's Nick Jonas. Yeah, there's David Oyelowo.
Are you sure Kevin Jonas wasn't in this?
Kevin Jonas might have been in this, but let me tell you the quick synopsis on this. In the not too distant future. Oh man, they're talking about restarts now. Remind me tomorrow, please. Let's cross this one off the list. Like I want to be crossing anything off the list.
We've had enough technical difficulties for one day, please.
So, in the not too distant future, Todd Hewitt, aka Tom Holland, discovers Viola, Daisy Ridley, a mysterious girl who crash lands on his planet where all women have disappeared and the men are afflicted by the noise. Now, I know that you usually do this, but should we just do some questions here?
I was just about to say, the way that synopsis goes is, okay, so the women are all gone and men are afflicted by the noise, like as if all the women were like, you know, they've got their oh, dude, my wife's still pestering me and like she dead. You know, that's what it sounds like. Like they've got this noise, man.
Well, that leads me to my first question as well. Is Chaos Walking sexist? Should we read that question? These are like questions that people ask.
Oh, this is on Google, was it? Oh,
this is on Google, yeah.
This is quality. Is Chaos Walking sexist?
Yeah, so there is a paradox at the center of Chaos Walking. Though the film is making some points about sexist inequality and patriarchal oppression, it does so in a way that mostly deprives the story of female characters and underdeserves the ones that do appear. So they're saying that it's sexist.
I think there's some truth in that. I mean, the mayor of the new Brazen Town, or wherever that thing was.
You mean Viggo Mortensen's mate, Madam Nicholson?
Exactly. No, the mayor of the other town, the female.
Yes, yeah.
She was a cool character, but they didn't give her enough screen time.
They give her like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
She holds a gun at one point and you're meant to be like, oh wow, this is wild. Now, we'll get into this more, but because I have some talking points and I want to touch on. But the underuse of Daisy Ridley in this movie.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people were underused. I mean, Mads Mikkelsen and his mate Viggo Mortensen, they were alright. They were both pretty good.
Yeah, he's given like
Kevin Jonas was a bit rough.
Well, I mean, he didn't even get any minutes. Kevin Jonas is sitting on the bench, bro.
They need to give Kevin Jonas more minutes.
They need to give him more minutes, man. Like, he's an all-star. He's starting, at power forward, and they're not giving him any minutes. But can I tell you, there's one more thing before we get into this. Is Chaos Walking bad?
Are you asking
what
me
do you think
that,
the answer? What do you think the answer to this question is going to be?
I think the answer to the question is going to be yes.
Yes. In a lot of ways, Chaos Walking is as bad as even some of the harshest reviews claim.
Well, you heard it here first. No need to review this. It's already been done. What are we doing?
We're going to figure out. We're going to figure out what we think, Vincent.
Can I?
So first of all,
okay.
Yeah, go on. No,
you said first of all.
First of all, you're going to tell me what you wanted to tell me.
Okay. No, I just wanted to go through my thinking before going into this movie and watching this movie, because I watched this last night and I had no idea about this movie. You told me we're watching Chaos Walking. It's Tom Holland's worst movie, or it's supposedly Tom Holland's worst movie. And on the Amazon Prime thing, all I knew about this movie, there was a Tom Holland and there was a female. I didn't even know it was Daisy Ridley until she appeared. Yeah,
you didn't know.
So I knew nothing about this movie.
That's pretty wild.
But as soon as they got me with the 2257 AD or whenever it was.
Yeah, it did
that hook
2257 AD?
Yeah, that hooked me.
Bro, don't tell me you ended up enjoying this damn movie. Like, someone like you would enjoy this movie. That's stupid, man. Yeah, but I know now. I know now exactly what you think. I know exactly what you think, bro. And it's just. Anyway, go on with what you were going to say.
I was just saying that, I went into this knowing nothing. And
you will get into what you felt about it later. I'll get into
what I felt, yeah. I just wanted to preface it with my thoughts prior to the movie.
Okay. Vincent, what I want to talk about, first of all, like just to hit the nail right on the head, I want us to explain what the noise is in our own words, because that's what people came here for. They heard what's the noise, and they want us to explain it in our own words. I want us to just talk about the dynamic between Tom Holland's and Daisy Ridley's. I want us to talk about the dystopian future that they live in. Did it meet your expectations of 2257 AD? And then we're just going to talk about, like, does this movie work? Does it work?
Is it good?
And then, is it good?
Is it bad?
Which you might be swaying towards the wrong side of the fence, Vincent, and I might have to pull you back. So, Vincent, I want to know, can you explain the noise to me? What is the noise?
The noise is a person's thoughts.
Mm.
I'm
Go
Todd
on.
Hewitt. I'm Todd Hewitt. I'm Todd Hewitt. That's it, bro. That's the noise.
Yeah, but people haven't seen this movie, Vincent. It's their thoughts.
You should do
Or your
yourself a
thoughts.
favor and watch this film. It is a masterpiece of cinema. Martin Scorsese? Is that the guy's name?
Yeah, he's there
Martin
with Mads
Scorsese.
Mikkelsen and Viggo Mortensen.
He was there, and he was tearing up.
Yeah.
You know that part when that bloke died, he was tearing up.
He was watching
He's
it on his
gone-
iPhone as well.
Cillian Murphy, man, that's wild. You know, you're out here dying, and you just want to be chopping wood.
You know, if you're going to pick two actors that make Mads Mikkelsen, Viggo Mortensen and Cillian Murphy is probably those two actors. Like if you meld them together, you get Mads Mikkelsen.
I was more so talking about the dude called Cillian.
I thought you were just going to be giving Mads Mikkelsen a different name throughout.
No,
you
no.
know.
I can do that. I can. Like I know more actors that I can just rattle off.
Well, I mean, Chris Pratt's in everything. You can just say Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Like Mans plays
you can't
Garfield.
can't give him a name like Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt.
That's true. It's too basic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like Mans is going to be playing Mario with the name Chris Pratt. Honestly, if you're going to be having someone play Mario, anyone, their name has to at least be Giuseppe. Like maybe Giuseppe as well.
Needs to be
You
some
know?
sort of ethnicity in there.
Yeah,
Even if
it
he's not
can't just be-
ethnic.
Can't be Christopher Pratt.
No.
Like what is Pratt, shortened of? What's the short version of Pratt?
Pratzino.
Oh, well, if it's that, then he's set.
That's right. It's all good. There's no
That's
issues
good.
here.
There's no issues there. There's no
Okay,
issues
so
there.
what is the noise? The noise is just someone's thoughts. In this film, basically they go to this new world, which looks
Yes,
a lot
sir.
like Earth. I mean, it just looks like a forest. And
Which
looks
I
like-
want to get into in a little bit, but go on with the noise.
Okay. And essentially all the men on this planet have their thoughts on display. And it kind of shows like an aura around someone. And people can hear what they're thinking. You know, if going, oh man, you look really nice today. And then I'm thinking, bro, you look trash. They're hearing you look trash.
And that's why I think, in many ways, this movie might have worked better as a comedy. Because imagine the amount of comedy that would ensue if men
Yeah,
could
that's
like,
right.
think out loud.
Yeah.
Or, and then you do a different one where it's a different planet, you do the women's side of things. It's like Think Like a Man and Think Like a Woman. Like, those are two movies that exist.
So yeah, you could have made two movies out of that. Instead, you've
You
made
could have made-
one, and you've
You could have done
lost about
Think
100
Like a
million.
Baby.
Think
You
like
could
a
have done
baby.
Think Like
You
a
could
Baby.
think like a dog.
And we would watch that. Imagine you get to hear what a dog's thinking.
Well,
And
I
there's
mean,
an
there
aura,
is
and it's
the
just like...
Secret Life of Pets, isn't it? There's that movie already.
Yeah, but they're not real animals, though. You got Kevin Hart in cartoon world.
Yeah, you want real animals and their real thoughts.
I want real animals. I want to see like a dog, and there's just a fire hydrant on top of his head, and he's just peeing on the fire hydrant. Classic dog humor.
Okay.
So you're right. That is essentially the noise. And let me tell you, it is for a man that I don't know if it's my hearing is bad. I haven't cleared out my earwax in ages, but having the noise and also dialogue going on at the same time, I could barely understand what was going on at 90% of the time during this movie.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of. I mean, it's a lot of noise.
It's
lack of a
sensory
better word.
overload. It's sensory overload, really.
I've just got the quote from the start of the film here,
Oh, yeah.
which I mean, I've got some things to say about that, but anyway, it says the noise is a man's thoughts unfiltered, and without a filter, a man is just chaos walking.
Dude, when you start a movie like that, you know it's going to be top tier.
But
you're going to be walking in.
You tell me that's not the worst. The worst title for this film,
Mm-hmm.
and like a good quote that ends terribly. Chaos walking. What
Is it really a good quote?
I think. Look,
Doesn't
for
it say
me,
filter twice?
yeah, but, you're not allowed to say filter twice. Is there a rule against that?
If you're in the world of Twitter like we are, you can't be saying the same word twice.
Yeah, but it
You lose
has an
its impact.
impact. No, it does have its impact because it's unfiltered and then filtered. Anyway,
go on.
Anyway, chaos walking is possibly the worst way to describe this phenomenon. Do you not think that?
I do think that. That is pretty hilarious. Because you're just thinking of a man just screaming while he's walking. Is that what you're
I'm just thinking the dude's like just swinging his arms everywhere and is, I don't know, throwing things. He just goes to the restaurant, he sits down and he just, swipes his arms across the thing and there's like spag bowl going everywhere. There's like vino going everywhere. Christopher Prazzino is there. He's got stuff on his napkin. He's got it on his shirt. He's got his shirt because he didn't put the napkin in his little shirt. He put it on his lap.
So, Christopher Pastino. What is it? Pastino or Pazzino?
Whatever.
No. Chaos Walking. Also, just as a title, I'm assuming this was based on a book because this is this is some real young adult sort of material.
So there's a synopsis here on Prime. Did this guy the director did Edge of Tomorrow, and that's a good movie.
That is a good movie. Starring the incomparable, the man that is literally Chaos Walking, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that's right.
They should call the man Tom Chaos Walking.
That's a person that embodies chaos walking. This is not... Anyway, a dystopian world where there are no women and all living creatures can hear each other's thoughts in a stream of images, words and sounds called noise. A corrupt autocrat takes the chance to seize control of the human settlements in order to launch a strike on native alien race, the Spackles, blaming them for the infection that's apparently killing human women. But 100% the Spackles were underused. I wanted to see one Spackle. You see one Spackle. I thought
maybe they'd link in with the Spackle, man.
Yeah, I thought Tom Holland, especially when they had that altercation in the stream. I mean, Mans is just trying to bathe, and Tom Holland's there with a knife,
just stabbing. Yeah,
that's right. But then, I mean, there was a situation there where Daisy Ridley was going, "Hold up, don't kill him," something like that. That might be verbatim, that might not be, and. The dude just looks... there's obviously an acknowledgement between Daisy Ridley and the Spackle. Well, yeah. Where did that go? Nowhere.
No. The whole Spackle subplot. See, that's a tongue twister in its own. But the whole Spackle subplot, it was just put in there to trick people at the very beginning. But any person that was watching this movie, understanding that Mads Mikkelsen was a bad guy, which they made him out to be straight away.
I mean, with a fur coat like that.
I know, and a scar on his face. Right? As soon as he's talking ill of the Spackle, you're like, okay, so the Spackle are good. I wonder how the Spackle are going to play into this story.
Yeah.
And then all they do is they get stabbed once and then they walk back to their house.
Yeah, nothing.
The man's probably went back and he's like, I just got stabbed in the stream. And everyone's like, I don't believe you. So yeah, the Spackle were underutilized, because they're cool looking aliens.
Yeah,
that was literally the only cool thing.
Mans didn't have an arm; he had like a stub.
He had a stump for an arm, but that's not the coolest part of him. The cool thing is that he's like a 7 foot, anthropomorphic alien.
Yeah, I know, but how did he get the stump of the arm?
Oh yeah, you'd like to have a, and I mean maybe if this movie made more money, they'd be able to do the Spackle origins.
The Spackle origins.
Like Wolverine's origins, but instead it's that Spackle with one missing arm.
Yeah. And it's just called Spackle. Also, who came up with that name?
Oh, it almost sounds racist. I almost got worried saying it because I'm thinking I had to search up, is Spackle racist? Because it could be. And I don't want to get into why it could be racist, but while we're on the topic of the Spackle, let's talk about the future. This is a dystopian future. And this is an area that I like talking to you about because you're a man that enjoys these sorts of things.
Yeah.
And I have plenty of qualms regarding this. One of my biggest qualms in this movie. So Daisy Ridley, she lives on a spaceship and she's going to all these new worlds to create contact and be like, hey, we're still out here doing spaceship things.
I don't think
let us know what you need.
Was she?
She lives on the spaceship.
I know, but was she going on there? Because the way she said it, she said to Tom Holland, I wanted to basically leave the spaceship. I wanted to start a new life on New World.
Maybe that's what she was saying. Anyway, so she's going to New World to start a new life, to kick things off right. Now, as they enter the atmosphere, all the men on board, which is everyone except for Daisy Ridley, start to get the noise. And then all hell breaks loose and they end up dying.
I didn't get that. They were just all... everything just blows up because they can hear each other's thoughts?
There was the pilot who was like sitting up further up on the thing and he just falls out of his chair. Like these are astronauts, right? These are people that their whole life is built on, that we have to make split-second decisions so we don't die. Okay? We know that we're going to a new place. We know that we're going to encounter things. We have to be ready.
Man,
now,
just
you see your thoughts out loud and you just off yourself. You just jumped out of your chair and just die.
He just checked out and he goes,
because that's what happened to that man.
That's it for me. Also,
I know, you were just looking at me for the straight face. So I was thinking, maybe my content's not working. So I just kept going harder and harder.
Unstable. That's a bit rude. Yeah,
I was just going harder with the jokes and then you just still looking at me like this.
Vincent, please, laugh.
But anyway, man's offed himself because he heard his thoughts. Or he saw him out loud, I don't think any astronaut, even any human being, they'd be like, whoa, but you wouldn't fall out of your chair and die. But also,
he was strapped in. So he had to unstrap himself.
And then just fall out.
But also, why would someone be piloting the ship? They're an interstellar civilization at this point. Why do they have to have someone piloting? I don't even think now they have people piloting spaceships when they're entering the atmosphere. The astronauts just sit down, strap in, make sure they don't unstrap and fall off wherever they are, and let Houston sort it out.
Yeah. And then I didn't understand how Daisy Ridley survived given the situation. Or did she grab like a parachute thing?
I don't know. Because she unstrapped herself as well. And she was flying around.
She went onto the wall and she grabbed something.
Yeah, I mean,
Now, this is not as much about, the fact that we're in the future, but you were on a planet. Now, this New World, it's called New World, but their technology is back in the, earlier times. They're riding horseback. There's no cars. There's no electricity.
It's kind of a mix.
I mean, they do have modern day weapons and some modern day accoutrements and whatnot, but they don't have they don't have cars and whatnot.
No.
So you're telling me that
they don't have the infrastructure.
They don't have the infrastructure. But you're telling me that on this place without the infrastructure, right? With a couple of accoutrements but no infrastructure. You're telling me that
a few cornichons, a few soaps.
You're telling me that a spaceship comes down through the atmosphere and crash lands and no one sees it.
That was the other thing, because also apparently he was next door to Tom Holland.
Yeah, he was next door to his house and his parents didn't see it. Cillian Murphy's mate didn't see it.
Yeah, I agree with you. There are a lot of things in this movie that are just...
Yeah, that's not something
that
to do with
make
the future.
Sense. No.
But anyway, Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley do meet by those circumstances. The other issue that I have, now this is a dystopian future. Yes, I understand this. We are on a new world. It's crazy. You see
it's not really rings. A dystopian future.
Well, that's how they explained it in the synopsis, so that's how I'm going to explain it to you.
Oh, is that what they... Okay.
But...
Sorry. I upset you.
That's all right. You see the rings, right? You see the rocks and whatnot floating around the planet. So you're like, this is going to be some futuristic stuff. If you're telling me you're on this planet and it's just grass, there's no creatures flying around, there's nothing other than it being just Earth, but on a different place.
Yeah.
I'm not buying into it. You may as well just done it on Earth and just say the spackle came down and our women died. Global warming caused the noise to happen.
Yeah, I feel like you have more issues with that. They only went halfway into the building out the environment. Although in saying that, I did kind of enjoy the environment. I think the best part of this movie was the concept of the noise and how men had the noise and women didn't. I thought that was really cool, but I think that they didn't put it to good use.
And in many ways, it was both underused and overused.
Yeah.
Because there gets to points where, Tom Holland is like throwing snakes at people.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
And then they never really touch on that again. But also, you get to a point where you're just walking around and you just, Tom Holland is saying, oh man, I can't wait to kiss this lady. And it's like, why do I need that 6 or 7 times?
Yeah, but that was kind of hilarious though.
But of course you find that stuff hilarious. I was sitting there like skipping through at this point, and you're like, bro, this is Martin. Where's Martin? So, yeah, I think it was both overused in regards to the fact that it happened so often and caused these awkward scenes between Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland that could have been built, that were also just being built by them being together. Like, you understood that Tom Holland was starting to fall for this lady without him having to say it out loud, right?
Yeah.
But also, at the same time, it was underused because man throws a snake at someone, then never throws a snake again.
Yeah. I mean, Viggo Mortensen's mate, Mads Mikkelsen, was doing walls.
He was doing walls.
And that's about it.
Yeah. And, the preacher was, he had fire and whatnot because he's talking about sin and burning in the flames and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's fair enough. I dig on that. But at the same time, I feel that the noise could have been better utilized in a more open space, like a TV series.
Yeah, I think that there was so many things that they just touched on. Like, I mean, for example, the preacher. That was a cool character. But what, Mans was just going, oh yeah, this is sin or something. I got to find the girl because she's got to be a martyr, and then I'm just going to burn to death, and that's going to be some sort of religious, irony.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was a cool. I feel like they could have gotten rid of a few of the scenes in the movie and fleshed out a few other ones.
Well, I feel like they tried to add, because if you had fleshed out particular scenes, one, you would have liked the characters a bit more as well.
Yeah.
We didn't even get an opportunity to enjoy the characters because there was just too much of this noise action. You didn't get an opportunity to learn about Tom Holland. Like, other than the fact that Tom Holland was saying, my name is, whatever his name was, Todd Hewitt. Other than the fact that you heard his name was Todd Hewitt, you didn't learn much about him other than his mum died. He lives with 2 dads and his name's Todd Hewitt.
Yeah.
If you had opportunities to flesh that out, then when his animals died, maybe we would have had a more emotional response to it. Because this man has 2 animal deaths, both of which are stupid.
Yeah.
The first one, the horse breaks his leg, so he's like, I gotta, put him out of his misery. Man slits the horse's throat. Horse is probably choking on its own blood before it died.
But also, it's the smallest little knife.
Yeah, in his big old horse neck.
The horse is just looking at him.
Come on, man. You could have cut deeper, like my heart's not that far away. But then there's also the dog death in which the preacher kills the dog. That whole scene, and I know we're jumping around a bit, but that whole scene is stupid. The preacher is swimming, catching up to a boat going downstream. Mans is swimming. They're on a boat.
It's because he's got
They're on top of the water. They got oars.
Got the word of God in his...
The power of the Holy Spirit on his side.
He's got his power of Holy Spirit in his breaststroke.
Mans is out there doing backstroke and catches up to this boat, steals the dog, and then just drowns it in the lake.
Also, the stream is still going. They're still upstream. How is the man standing still?
He's just dunking the dog into the lake, which is horrible. Which is a horrible scene. That scene went from being hilarious to just horrible for no good reason.
Yeah.
I didn't feel bad for the dog or for Tom Holland. I just felt bad. Because this man's just drowning a dog on screen. You can't be doing that. You just can't be. You can't make a scene which is like something out of the Three Stooges and then have a man drown a dog.
No, that's right. No.
But, it is what it is. And you get what you get. You don't get upset. But I got upset. That's the reality of it.
So you played yourself, really.
Vincent, I want to ask you, did you know that there was going to be the plot twist in which there was women still alive, but they were just in another space? And that, someone killed the women? That it wasn't the SPAC?
No. What did I think? I thought, obviously I thought something fishy was happening.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I initially thought that, I don't know what I thought. I wasn't thinking, I guess.
That's fair enough, man, because it's not a movie that you think in. And from the start, you know that something's fishy's going on, and you know that when they're going to go to this, their goal is for Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland to walk to another space and meet a tribe and be like, hey, have you got communications to get this lady out of here? And you know that when they're going to go there, they're going to meet up with females. There's going to be a whole colony in which there's half males, half females, just a normal colony. And then we find out that the place where Tom Holland was from, they all went crazy and they ended up killing females because the men were upset that the females knew their every thought.
Yeah, it was because of Viggo Mortensen's mate.
Yeah, Viggo Mortensen was just he was just popping caps in people because they could hear his thoughts.
Yeah.
So maybe just change your thoughts, brother. Maybe go within yourself and change your thoughts. Mans could have thought of something a lot better because, having a diverse population means that you can continue to grow as a population. That's one thing that's positive. You also have different brains, different perspectives working on it. That's another thing that's positive. And also, females, you need them in this world because if it was just me and Vincent here, nothing's going to be happening. Positive, at least.
I don't know what he thought about the longevity of his tribe there.
You know what I was just thinking then?
What?
If you and I were on an island, right? And we're we've got to figure this out. We're the last two people on this island. We've got to figure this out. Hey, bro, should we start a podcast?
That's our great idea.
And we'll get as many views there as we do now.
That's right. We'll be thinking, man, we could be hunting for food today, but we could also create mediocre content. And we could do it all the time because what else are we going to do?
What else can you do, man? We could review Chaos Walking just on repeat.
Yeah.
Go on with what you were saying though. Sorry, Vincent, I cut you off.
I don't know what was I saying.
I can't remember either.
Oh Mads. What was he thinking? He's just going to do some genetic engineering and create children. What do you think the future was? Because it was only luck that this lady had. I mean, I guess maybe he was waiting for he thought that there was the second wave or new settlers.
But then would he just not kill them?
Yeah, look, man, I don't know. I don't know it's for me. Now, I'm gonna tell you what I thought of this movie.
Can we just talk real quick about the final act?
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
All right, so the final act was trash. So they essentially they're just running around this broken down spaceship looking for a satellite.
Yeah,
that's Tom Holland's
the last Tom
15
Holland's
minutes of the movie.
Setting up repairing the satellite where Daisy Ridley sends out a distress call or something.
Mm.
And then she sets the man alight.
And this is the issue with this movie right now. Before you get into your review, because this might make you change your mind, the issue with this movie is that nothing happens in it.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree.
This is like the Lord of the Rings, but if they were just walking. There was nothing that happened while they were walking. When Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland catch up, they start running. They go on the run. That's cool. They're getting chased on horseback and whatnot. Then they're just walking, and they're chatting about nothing for about 30 minutes. Then they get to the new area where they find all the other tribe of people. Then they're talking and they're doing nothing for 45 minutes. And then they get to the end where they have to get the satellite. Nothing happens.
Yeah. Tom Holland uses
big moments.
The force to bump him off the edge. He's like, bro, you want to see females? Here's females. And he's just conjuring them up and they're all pushing him over the edge. Man's knows they're not real.
I know. You've seen people that you've killed.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, these are real. Let me step back towards this, towards this edge of this giant spaceship.
Let me unclip myself from my seat and just fall out my seat.
Yeah, no, it's horrible. And also in that scene, where's Kevin Jonas at?
He just disappears.
Like, he's an antagonist in this movie, and really it should have been between Kevin Jonas and Tom Holland, but it's between Mads Mikkelsen and Tom Holland.
Yeah, look, I agree that this movie is not a good movie.
Also, you got Daisy Ridley in your movie. What'd she do? What did she do for that whole movie?
She let a man not lie.
Which is pretty, like, you know, I love seeing a man like on fire, like still preaching to the, you know, that man's was still preaching to the Lord while he's on fire.
Yeah, he was saying he's a sinner.
Yeah, so he's like, oh, bro, this is perfect. I'm just getting right into what I'm going to be doing for the next eternity.
It's a smooth transition.
If you're burning and then you go into an eternity of burning, like, you know what you're going to expect.
That's right. You got no surprises there.
No. At that point, probably the pain just is numbing pain. You're just like, yeah, I've dealt with this, so that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, when they say an eternity of suffering, by the third day, you know what you're going to expect.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing, because the reason that we feel things, or, I mean, you know, don't quote me on this, but I'm sure that, you know, without sadness, there is no happiness. Kind of, you know, things go hand in hand.
Yeah.
This is not, you know, I'm not quoting anything. I'm just talking rubbish, essentially. But, you know, that's right. If you're suffering every day in hell or whatever, are you really suffering? Because there's no alternative.
No, yeah, it's exactly right. You don't know what good feels like.
Yeah.
By the fourth or fifth day, you're set, bro. You're just sitting there, you're talking to heads.
Yeah, that's right.
You'd be like, hey, can they turn the heat up a little bit? Am I right, fellas?
It's getting a bit chilly in here.
What are they going to do? Kill you again? You're already dead, bro.
That's right.
Right. So tell me what you thought about this movie.
So I thought it was a terrible movie, but I kind of enjoyed it. Because I really liked the characters. A lot of the characters were underdone or just pretty garbage. Mm-hmm. But I love the concept of the noise. And I think that idea deserved a better story.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Look, I 100% agree that this is the thing with a lot of bad movies, is that the idea can be great, but you can't hold up an entire. You got to execute, right? And also, this is exactly, you know, you give me Tom Holland, you give me Mads Mikkelsen, you give me Daisy Ridley, you give me David Oyelowo.
You can even be Viggo Mortensen.
You give me Viggo Mortensen, you give me Nick or Kevin or John Jonas. I don't know who the other Jonas is.
I thought it was Joe.
Joe Jonas, that's right. You know
how are you going to name your kid Joe and your name's Jonas? Joe Jonas.
Joe Jonas. You know, that's, I mean, that's pretty cool.
That's like Steve Stevens.
Which is also pretty cool.
I don't know about pretty cool, but it's something that people do.
That's Steve Stevens.
Steve Stevens.
You'll never forget that man's last name because that's Steve Stevens. But Joe Jonas, you know, you got all these people in there. You do nothing with them. It's like if you went to a fine dining restaurant, you're like, oh look, I want that 300 gram, I want that 400 gram steak. I want it medium rare. I want the blood to be dripping out like the Matrix, right? I just want to be sitting there with a tall glass of red with some potatoes on the side, a bit of rosemary on the top, right? And then your meal comes out and you got a minute steak there. And your potato half cooked. That's this movie. It's minute steak with a half cooked potato. Because they really went into it with like, this is going to be great. And then it came to 2021 and they were like, we just got to drop this, bro.
It's been
like,
10
we can't
years.
keep doing reshoots.
We just got to get it out of here. Yeah.
This was announced in 2011.
Yeah,
it came out last year. You know? You had Daisy Ridley. You know, at that time, Daisy Ridley would have been at the height of her star power.
Yeah.
You know, with Star Wars being sort of in the middle of this latest trilogy. Tom Holland was not at the height of his power. Now he is.
Yeah, now he is.
Now Tom Holland, you can put him in anything and it will be good.
He'll sell.
And you know, he wasn't bad in this.
No,
it wasn't his fault that he was bad.
I don't think any of the acting was poor. I thought the acting was good. I thought Tom Holland was great. I mean, Mads Mikkelsen is great as always. But yeah, Daisy Ridley was just underutilized.
They didn't give her anything.
No. I mean, she
They didn't
barely
give her anything.
talked.
I know, and when she did talk, she was like, "My parents died on the spaceship
Yeah.
of just natural causes. It was space madness, and then they died."
Bro,
You know,
give me
like, I
some
was like,
tragedy in this.
I don't care about your parents.
Yeah.
I don't care about you because one, you fell from space, and all we know about you is that you know how to ride a motorbike.
Yeah, why didn't they utilize that motorbike more? That was
I mean, they could have
wild.
done cool things, right?
They
That was
could have
pretty
done
cool.
things. It was a future motorbike.
Had like a heads up display, you know.
Yeah. Initialize.
But-
You had to initialize.
Dude, if I see something initializing,
That's
I'm
right.
thinking I'm in the future
That's why Teslas sell so many cars.
because they initialize.
Because they don't say like start, engine start. They say like initialize.
Now, Vincent, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If you were to tell your friend whether or not this movie is worth the admission to Amazon Prime, which is not very much, you know, you go to Amazon, you're paying like, what is it, $6.99,
But I think it's cheap. If you pay for the year, I think it's like $5.
which is wild to me.
And you get Prime shipping, you get Prime video, you just get Prime.
You just get so much Prime, like,
Like you get primo
Amazon
quality
Prime.
at a Prime price.
and also you get all those horrible movies that are on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, and you can get this other movie with like what's his name, Benedict Cumberbatch and his mate Viggo Mortensen.
Huh?
I don't know. Oh, this one here, the Mauritian. This movie, it's got Jodie Foster.
The Mortician?
The Mortician, yeah. Jodie Foster.
Is it the Mortician?
No,
Oh.
the Mauritanian or something. It's got Jodie Foster, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Zachary Levi.
Zachary Levi, yeah. Or Levy, I guess, you know,
Yeah,
because he
whatever.
went to the levee and the levee was dry. But
But you know, just films like that on Amazon, that's quality. I mean, may not be
Also-
quality viewing, but they get actors and actresses.
I was also upset with my partner not last night, but a couple of nights ago. So I left the room and I put on The Curse of the Mummy, which is just some crappy movie on Amazon Prime, which has no name actors and is like B grade as heck. And I took the control out of the room. So she just had to sit there watch. That's how angry I was, you know. Because that's
Oh,
spiteful, man.
after watching Chaos Walking.
No. This is just I was upset with my partner.
Because she let you watch Chaos Walking.
No, just in general, you know. I think we had a disagreement about, you know, politics or something. So I thought that'd be the best way to deal with it. But,
John
you know, that's just
Howard
healthy
was the
relationship
best prime
things.
minister. Yeah, but what about that guy that just sunk beers?
Oh, that's good, man. You're frozen up here.
Yeah, good.
That's perfect.
Yeah, good.
Well, what a great way to end this podcast.
Ah, now you're frozen.
Back Catalogue
Should we
podcast,
just end it here?
podcast where we.
This movie,
I'm
this
just looking
movie
at
is
Vincent. He
not
looks
worth
like-
it. Yeah, this is. I mean,
He
I'm
looks
gonna
literally
show-
like
it's going to
donkey
show up.
taking
You know,
a
we've
bite
got
out
technical
of an
difficulties
apple.
or experiencing. Yeah, your internet connection is unstable. Well, stop moving,
Yeah.
man. Just
Dude,
you know.
I was just roasting you, man. I was just roasting you, you know, because your face was looking hilarious, and I'm sure mine was as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vincent, but would you you know say that
No,
this
this is not a
worth-
good movie. I wouldn't. This is not worth watching.
I wouldn't pay $6.99 for this.
No,
I wouldn't even rent it for $2.99, which is what you can do on Amazon.
I would not do that.
Vincent, guess what, man?
This is
That
the
brings
end.
us to the end of our show.
It's the end of the show.
Chaos Walking. Is this the worst Tom Holland movie?
Yes, this is the worst one I've seen for sure.
It's definitely the worst one I've seen, given that I've only seen him in Spider-Man.
And the devil all the time.
Oh, the devil all the time. Which was a decent movie.
That was a decent movie. Yeah,
It just made you feel bad.
it just made you feel
afterwards.
terrible. Goodness me.
Yeah. Because it's the devil all the time, you know?
It's the devil all the time. All right. So you can catch us. I was about to say you can catch us on the show at Mick and Ori.
Dude, that's funny for me and you, but no one
Yeah,
else.
that's right.
But no one else is watching it.
Anyway, links down in the description. If you've made it this far, thank you. Like and subscribe. And bro, can you stop pointing?
You know? Hit the subscribe button. You got to do that sort of
I'm not.
stuff.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You know, if we get
Can't
more than
believe you
30
fucking
views,
frozen again, man. 100% this is some bull crap.
I'm
Dude,
frozen.
I cannot believe this. You look like you're in a hip hop. Now you're just gone. How?
Oh, dude, no one else is going to find this funny. Anyway, check us out on Instagram. We've got TikTok as well. Sign up to the Patreon.
Oh, we got a
that's
hilarious
it.
video coming out. It was
Yeah,
out
we got
yesterday.
hilarious. Yeah, out yesterday. Far out. What a great video that was.
What a great video.
What a great video.
Probably
All
get
right.
like 20 views, but it's a good video.
All right, that's it.
Talk soon.
Talk soon. All right,
Talk
I'm
soon.
I'm stopping this.